Your host and the sound man. Y'all doing a fine job this evening. Appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. The cameraman and sound woman. I stand corrected. So, yeah, I'm from the great state of West Virginia. I just moved out here about 2 months ago. West Virginia. Two different states, my man. Yeah, it's been nice so far. Last week, I finally got laid for the first time. It was a beautiful thing. Yeah, so I picked this girl up. I brought her home. Had her on the couch. I was giving her the pumps pretty good. You know what I mean? And just to kind of mess with her, I looked down and I said, "Hey, baby, you know the difference between me and the couch?" She said, "What?" I said, "The couch pulls out." So she looked back up at me and she said, "You know the difference between me and the couch?" I said, "No." She said, "Apparently not, because right now you're fucking the cushions." But I like to go the extra mile, you know what I mean, when you're making love to a woman. I like to do all the sex moves. Yeah, I know the old school, like the shocker, you know what I mean? You know the minivan, 2 in the front, 5 in the rear, you know that one? I came up with a sex move a couple weeks ago. It's when you hold a girl down and force her to have sex with you. I call it the Cosby sweater.
Yeah, the Cosby sweater. That's pretty good. Too soon? Too soon?
Is it too soon?
No, that's good. No,
Seriously though, I've been trying to make some changes in my life. You know, walk the straight and narrow. You know, I know that's kind of lame, but yeah, I've been exercising a little bit, trying to eat better. I recently got back into cooking, which is something I love. You know, I got a couple good recipes under my belt. I make really, really good chicken parmesan. You know, coconut shrimp, lasagna. My favorite thing to cook, and something I always get a ton of compliments on, is crack cocaine.
yeah.
Now, y'all laugh, but I got some fond memories of getting the family together for the holidays, you know, and
Me too.
cooking up a batch of crack and just filling the house with the aroma of nervous sweat and burnt tires, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. I like cocaine. I really do. Here's just a little word of advice for you, though. If you're going to go to the strip club and do cocaine, make sure you have like a straw or a Bic pen or something like that. The reason is, if you have rolled up dollar bills in your pocket, they will always end up in a stripper's butthole. All right? And it's not that most of them mind it so much. It just kind of starts getting expensive after a while. You know what I mean? There is a girl at the Spearmint Rhino that can tell you the denomination of the bill, you know? Seriously, I rolled up a 20, I popped it in her pooper, and she turned around and was like, "Who brought Andrew Jackson to the party?" Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I'm from West Virginia. I grew up in a big family. One thing I noticed, you know, when you grow up in a big family, the less and less your parents start giving a shit about your individual problems. You know what I mean? They buy groceries in bulk, and so they start to solve all your problems in bulk, right? So one of my sisters comes of age, and she walks up to my mom. She said, "Mom, I got my period." So Mom goes to the Price Club. She buys a case of 1,000 tampons, right? And I think the intention was that she'd never have to buy tampons again. But then she just started solving every problem in the house by using tampons, right? When you get a bloody nose, she just cram a tampon up there, you know? You run out of dental floss, she'd be like, "Just use a string on the tampon. That'll work just fine." I remember it was October, it was Halloween. I didn't have a Halloween costume, so she taped tampons all over my head. She said, "There, you're George Washington. Now go get me some fucking candy." So anyhow, the end of the month comes around, and sure as hell, my little sister's like, "Mom, I got my period again." Mom says, "Well, we're all out of tampons." I'm not going to go into detail about how Mom solved that problem that day, but I will say this. I have a sister who could tell you everything you need to know about the absorbency of a corn cob. I know, it's gross because it's true. So let's see, I'm going to close on something here. Yeah, 1 minute. Recently, there's been this comedian in town, very funny guy. His name is Sean Boyd. He was telling this joke about the inevitable conversation that all men have. How much money would it take for you to suck a dick? And that kind of rung a chord for me, because when I had that conversation, I was in prison. And the question got asked, and they were looking at me to answer first because I was kind of new in. And I said, "Well, I don't want these guys to think I'm some kind of cocksucker." So I just threw out this astronomical number. I said, "I wouldn't suck a cock for less than $10 million. And everybody in the room started laughing, all right? And just another little piece of advice. If you're on the inside and you're in a room full of inmates and everybody's laughing and you don't know why, back up against the wall because somebody's about to wrap you up in a Cosby sweater. You know what I mean? But it turned out they weren't laughing about that. I didn't get raped that day. Well, not that day. And what they were laughing about was that we weren't talking in actual dollars. We were talking in prison money. So the next guy, he says, I'd suck a dick for 10 cartons of cigarettes, which when you're on the inside, that's about like saying $10 million. And next fella down, he says, I'd suck a dick for 2 grams of that good heroin that Choo Choo's got going around. You could tell some of the other guys in the room already had. They were like, yeah, that's reasonable. This older guy down at the end of the table, Silas, he said, he was laughing. I said, what's so funny? He said, boys, I'm going to try to do my impression of him. He said, boys, I'll suck the dick for a Butterfinger. I said, a Butterfinger? You mean a candy bar? He said, well, son, this was the 90s. And the integrity of the Butterfinger on the global penal currency exchange was much stronger than what it is today. I said, Silas, did you just say the global penal currency exchange? He said, yes. I said, man, you just blew my fucking mind. He said, well, that one's free. Next time I blow anything, it'll cost you a Butterfinger. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it.